Superbooth 22. It's Tom from Synthesizer on the booth of SOMA Labs with the developer Vlad Kreimer and the founder of SOMA Labs. How are you?
I'm fine.
How is Superbooth so far for you?
So Superbooth is usually the best exhibition in the world if you wish to meet new synthesizers, old synthesizers.
And you were very active the last years. You did this phenomenal effect processor, then you did this little 8-bit synth.
Yeah, so we did Rumble of Ancient Time and Cosmos, and also several new products in pipeline. And now we present new product Terra. So it's just prototype, but already we have something to show.
And your company has grown a lot in the past 2 years. You get more and more developers. So the Rumble was not developed by you, or it's a different?
Yes, exactly. So this is Alexander Zavgorodny, who joined SOMA several years ago, and he is the creator of Rumble of Ancient Time, and this is 8-bit machine, another aesthetic, and so we make bigger our development department. Also, Vadim Minkin joined us several years ago. He did Ornament 8 esoteric sequencer, let's say. So yes, we are active despite COVID, despite all problems. We stay active, and we are bigger now, and so a lot of plans.
How can we see this or describe this? Is this something you say we want to do this with this developer, or is this developer coming to you and say we are making now this synthesizer? How this collaboration works, or is this really a fixed developer in your team?
So Vadim and Alexander are independent developers, so there is their vision, their conception. That is why it's really interesting. So for me, as a founder of SOMA Laboratory, the most interesting thing is to see independent thinkers here. So I just see that it's really something unique, something that fits SOMA philosophy, and in very wide way. And we just help them to make professional construction for mass production, because this is absolutely another dimension of knowledge, of technical knowledge. So conceptual part and part how to make reliable device that can be produced in a big scale. This is our part of work. But the conception, the idea, the design in Rumble of Ancient Time programming absolutely was made by Alexander, and Ornament, this conception and the idea of the sequencer belongs to Vadim Minkin. So it's not like I give orders and they do what I say. So
and your focus on designing instruments, it's not only electronic music, it's something also a mixture, a bit of more acoustic, mechanical. So is it your interest to bring some, because I always see the instruments from SOMA Labs, nothing is normal. It's always unique and different and innovative. Is it for you always a challenge to make something new that is not yet on the market? Or because I always see, not always, but often see at NAMM show or at Superbooth, there's more of the same basically. That people are doing now an analog oscillator for URAC, or again a VA synthesizer. So how do you challenge yourself with making stuff that is very unique, or is it always a long progress until these instruments are reality?
Yes, so this is a big work behind, and this is, first of all, let's say my dreams about perfect music, perfect humanity. So it's like, so for me, music is very wide range of phenomena, and I simultaneously I'm like a meloman. I listen to, for example, ancient Eastern music like Indian ragas or Muslims tunes, Muslim traditions. And at the same time, I can listen the same day Arca and something like this, so top-notch electronic musicians. And for me, this is like what is music? So music is extension of our soul. So you can't show what's inside of you, right? So there is no window here. But if you are a musician, skilled musician, you can express your feelings, your states through sound, and then you can share the most interesting things. And there is no limitations, just like only acoustic instruments can do this purpose, or only electric instruments. So, in my opinion, the best approach is take best from all possible dimensions. What I really try to do, and what I am doing in Terra.
So you see, making music is not really focused on the style, or so it's really the expression.
Absolutely. So in my opinion, styles, instruments is not so important. Important is our self-expression, and it's like if you see some treasure inside of you, right? So some states, feelings, emotions that you recognize like very valuable for you. Then you try to share it with other people, and you need tools, and styles, instruments, just tools. And in my opinion, like any tool, it can be better or worse. It can be proper, improper. So of course, exactly for your style, for your way of self-expression. And building instruments, I try to make a perfect tool that are responsive and flexible in your arms. So for me, it's like several key points. What is good musical instruments? First of all, it must respond to your movements, physical movements, inner movements. So it has not to be deaf to you. It must listen to your states, and you can you has to be able flow through instruments. So, and it's like there is like several kinds of limitations, and we have good limitations, bad limitations. Some limitations can vice versa make you stronger and make your expression stronger, but we also have bad limitations. When you like to make some movement in your composition, but you can't because the instrument you use doesn't allow you. So I try to make instruments that has no boundaries in your self-expression. So they can limit you in some sound design, like Lara, for example. Not that much different sound. This is actually mainly drum machine. But inside of this area, it has no boundaries from any tones, any directions, pure sound, dirty sound. And this is why I try to combine acoustic instruments, electronic instruments, because, for example, acoustic instruments usually have perfect connection with artist's body. It's very, very physical, so you directly touch the sound core. So exactly these things that produce sound, it's very important.
Touch a nylon, and so yeah.
Yes, like
body, and
or if you use wind instrument, this is your breathing, so you have very direct connection with sound generator, let's say. And often in electronical instruments, that sound core hidden behind many layers of processing, automatization, so actually do almost nothing. So you just choose different algorithms, and that is why, in my opinion, people often say electronical music, electronical instruments are dead, and acoustic instruments are live. But the question is how you interact with it. So let's take, for example, Theremin. So it's totally live instrument that can sing like human voice, but it's totally electronical instrument, and it's very, very old, so it's very primitive.
And I'm still very surprised that not yet a company took the Theremin, a new and I say an innovative one. Because Moog, for example, is doing basically always the same, yeah, or are just changing a bit the engine, one time analog and one digital, but doesn't taking it further. What could be possible today?
Yes, yes.
That could be something for you.
Actually, I thought about it many times, and on my opinion, Theremin really so genius. It's marked that this instrument is totally genius. So more than 100 years and no significant changes. So I have in my mind, in my development, something like a multi-dimensional Theremin. And actually, I tell you a secret. So this is like 5 years of development, Terra, and one of first versions was like 3D Theremin. So this left-hand part, when I control chamber, firstly, I intended to make like a three-dimensional sensor that you move your hand in the air and control the sound.
And this, you have taken on my question. What I'm really interested to hear from you is how many instruments ideas come to the trash, or how many becomes reality? Is it do you have many ideas and then say, no, it doesn't work. It's maybe too advanced for the people, or because you are bringing tons of stuff out in the last years. So you have tons of ideas, but are there many ideas that doesn't become reality because they are too difficult to implement or to make it in a real physical instrument?
So I think go to trash something like 95% of my ideas, 95.
Okay.
So this is really hard work. So in like in draft state, I have much more instruments.
So you could do double the amount of instruments here with.
Yes. So of course it's not completely trash. So it's just for the moment I didn't start making it for the final stage like a commercial product. And could be many reasons for it. Not only, so actually I try to be very careful with, let's say, maybe message inside, because for me it's not a problem to create something new, but I always ask myself, is it really useful for the musical commune? So what direction it will shift our approach to music, and I try to choose the best one, the best solutions, the best directions. First of all, it's like responsibility in front of development of music, and secondly, we are a small company, we can't launch at one time 20 instruments.
And I see on the left side from here the Cosmos, for example. What was their mission? Do you want to make a looper or a atmospheric generator? Because effect processors are so far not the biggest part of your company. It's more instruments like the Lyra 8 or the drum machine and now the 8-bit synth. So what was the mission with Cosmos, for example?
So for me, Cosmos is first of all a machine that allows you to play in a meditative state of mind. So for me, it's really important experience. And Cosmos, for me, what is maybe one of the worst part of electronic music, especially now, it's loop. And it started from the earliest sequencers, and there was a simple explanation why, because memory very expensive, gear is very expensive, they was simply limited in this hardware part of synthesizers. But it became like a tradition that electronical music made from loops, they just multiply it. And on my opinion, much better. For example, let's take old funk music, also like 70s. So also this is quite loopy, but real people sit and play the same beat like disco, and this is another feeling. And that is why Cosmos is anti-looper. I call it anti-looper, because even if you do nothing, it doesn't make this annoying steady repetitions.
So without you activating it?
Yes, it can. It has some mode that you can make ordinary loop, but then you have possibilities to mangle it in Cosmos way and create something that flows and shifts. And for me, like Cosmos designed it this way that it's invites you to a meditative state. So this is expressed in everything here. For example, interface. So of course it's clear that I can make 2, 3, 10 times more knobs, more buttons, but all functions here are carefully chosen this way, so it's instantly playable, and it's very simple. So you can be in relaxed state of your mind. And for example, I even put high pass, low pass filters on buttons, so you just don't need to think how much, and you just can switch it on and off. So also it's important if you are a guitar player, you simply have no third arm to turn any knobs, so you can control it using your feet. And,
so this interaction, as you said, it's related very on interface design.
Yes.
So you have a very big focus on that the interface is working with the instruments and how you perform it.
Yes, because this is exact point where a man meet machine. So this is point of interaction.
So we will never see from you a big menu system with display and where we...
Who knows? So the question is purpose of system. For example, Pulsar is very nerdy machine, right? So a lot of possibilities, a lot of connectivity. But this is another vibes, another purpose. Cosmos, vice versa, very simple. This is another purpose. No synths, no, so a lot of limitations actually inside. But in these limitations, I suppose that musicians find new dimension of freedom. It's like our skillets, right?
And especially with the interface design, I really get this again when I saw your new synthesizer for the Superbooth, the Terra. It has I only say, okay, he was in the forest, and it was very. I get that imagination or his ideas for making this instrument, and it looks like it comes instantly from the forest.
Yes.
And how difficult this interface is exactly the way you want to play the instrument, right, Terra?
Yes. So Terra is a really big achievement for me. This is like 5 years of explorations, different kinds. So Terra combines a lot of different philosophical approaches and principles inside. First of all, this is key question is exploration of this relationship a man and a machine. So in contemporary world, very often technologies eat our time, eat our energy, and actually make us powerless, because they do everything and we just mangle inside some technologies and trying to figure out how we can control it, and it's often not so possible. Terra, vice versa, is like place when you can relax. So.
And how do you come up with this Terra interface? Because it looks so unique and for me eye-opening. It's because often the typical music instruments, they have this typical industrial look, but Terra doesn't have this at all. Maybe the knobs, but the rest.
See, so first of all, this is this message about humanistic approach in building machines. Maybe this is the first synthesizer that is ergonomical. So you see, it's not array of buttons like usually. Even piano or guitar, it's array of something, right? Array of frets, array of keys. Launchpad is array of buttons, but of knobs, etc. But this is perfectly fit your natural shapes of your hand. So this is your right hand. This is your left hand. You see, each finger has its own sensor. Big finger can control here pitch shifting.
The buttons are layered out like your hand.
Yes. So this is very comfortable, and you can play whole performance just keeping your eyes in this position, your arms in this position. So this is very comfortable. And this is designed for human. So it's not like machine and you must try to figure out how I can manage it. This is vice versa. Machine go toward human
So
side.
you want to change the motto, we are the machine, some Kraftwerk.
A kind. So, and then the question was how I can control as much parameters as possible. This is continuation, these ideas about multi-dimensional Theremin. So, and I came to idea that it's very important that it must be tactile. So, for example, why I rejected this idea about control timbres using movements in hand, because you have no like some base stuff that you can find or can rely on. But here you have physical touches, and you can just feel what is what and where is where. So it also came from acoustic work. And you can see you can control using your left hand 4 parameters at a time. So this is very unique actually, because usually we need, if you need control, for example, a button, you can control just one knob, right? Maybe 2 knobs, but this is not comfortable. 3 knobs, impossible, right? Here you can control naturally and easily 4 parameters at the same time.
From what is this made, these buttons?
This is aluminium, this is brass.
Okay. And is the reason for that they are different in the...
This is just colors.
Just colors, okay.
Yes. So the conductivity and all electrical properties are the same. I mean, in points of view, this machine.
And look, this cell is
And internally, you said that, I read on the official press release or on the website, it has multiple algorithms, different algorithms. What kind of synthesis we can find in? Is this more something like virtual analog, or is it something like physical modeling, or
I can combine.
what are you combining here?
So this is like a weird mixture of different
So I unmute
types of synthesis. There is FM synthesis, wave shaping, wave physical modeling, classical subtractive. So actually I see no reason, it's like with styles, I see no reason to keep just one way. So the most interesting way is mix different types of synthesis in one machine. And that is why I build it like 32 different engines, because I can't make super mighty one engine and then you need to adjust parameters. So actually it would be too huge.
The user will see what kind of algorithm you're using, or is it something more you want to achieve just by hearing it?
No. So we have a kind of display, also like super minimalistic display, this triangle. And here you can pick up algorithms. So this is like 4 types of algorithms here. So now we have keys, bases, even let's say another way. So now we have keys. So now we have like polyphonic sound. Polyphonic sound other, this will be bass sound, experimental engines, so something crazy, etc. Mono bass, mono solo. So this is like 4 groups of algorithms here. And here you can dial using binary system, like 3 sensors gives you 8 variations. You can dial number of exact engine inside this group. And here, like also unique feature of Terra, low sample rate. So it drops sample rate 2 times, and what guys usually do it in circuit bending process, but I inserted like instant feature, so you can drop 2 times sample rate and make very nice low sample rate sound here that I actually likes a lot. So 22 kilohertz, in my opinion, sounds really nice.
Okay. And this and the shaping of this instrument is done with the 6 encoders or with the 6 knobs.
Yes. So you can shape it. So this is three ways how to shape this engine. First of all, and the most important, it's already designed this way that you play on timbre. So it's not a synth that you must set up different parameters for a long time.
So it's not first you need to craft a sound. It's already done.
Yes, but it's done this way that you already have very big span of different timbres right on your hands. So I will show you later that even without touching any knobs, you can get very big range of sound. And this is for me the most important thing. So you can play on timbres. So usually we program timbres and then play it, but here you can create timbres just instantly, right?
It's a bit like, as you said, from a real instrument, from an acoustic instrument.
Exactly. It has no knobs, and this is nice. Like violin, it has no knobs. So you create timbre inside of your performance. And Terra proposes you the same. This is very important. Next, we have these knobs, not that much. So we have release, because it has manual attack. You need no attack knob, so it has just release knob. Then we have two assignable knobs, like they are different in different sound engines, like C and SOM, like two domains, something connected with wave, something connected with brightness, light, intensity, something like this. Volume and effect section, time, mix and switching between delay and reverb. That's all. And here we have, in this triangle, in this mode, possibility to dial 64 variations of this sound engine. So also different functions here. For example, we can switch on vibrator, or we can switch on soft distortion, or switch what these guys will do, for example. And so on. So in these three possibilities gives you actually a lot of different sounds and combinations inside this very simple interface. Plus 32 engines that will be really different.
Can you maybe give us some more examples? A bit of the sound spectrum, what we can expect?
Yes, sure. is just one engine, just one sound. It's
Just one engine.
one engine.
Wow.
It's just one engine. And you see, I didn't make a lot of movements. So I mean, I didn't switch a lot of things. So I just play on it, and I can go very smooth from very soft tunes like this.
If someone now buys this synth or this instrument, he needs to rethink in that or how he plays this instrument, right?
Yes, yes.
So this can be also challenging a bit, I think.
Yes, so
Because I saw this, that could be a bit timing a new learning curve. Yeah.
yes, so in my opinion, it's very important. So when you buy guitar or violin or flute, you must master yourself. Why with synthesizers? We must have another situation. For me, music is your effort. So if no efforts, no value. So real masters of music, they spend whole their life master themselves. Doesn't matter, electronic music or acoustic. It's a lot of work, and if it has no sense to master yourself with your instrument, it means that you have no instrument. So you have, I hope you have instrument, and you must spend some time, energy, find your way, how to approach it, find your style of playing, to be very familiar with it. So, but it will be rewarded, but by big possibilities. So, this is actually even me don't understand to the end what it can do. So I feel that there is a lot of things that I will find here maybe 1 year later. I mean, just how I can play it, because it's many things that really new. For example, how you can play notes, because there is two parts. Here you choose notes here, but you can shift it here like this.
It's totally fascinating how it's how it sounds and how you can it plays differently like a normal electronic instrument. Maybe can you show us this construction of it a bit? How it's real wood?
Yes, it's real wood, absolutely.
And how heavy is it? Or
Absolutely not heavy. I think something like 2-3 kgs here. So this is very portable instrument. Backpack fitting.
It looks really. So, and you wanted to have this look, this wooden look here.
Yes, so Terra will be definitely wooden. So I mean enclosure will be wooden, as well as this is real metal, solid piece of metal. And for me it's important part of the design, and not only because of view and philosophy, but because these sensors are very precise capacitive system, and it's don't like metal because it creates interferences, so additional capacity.
Does we get MIDI or?
So we will have MIDI out, but not MIDI in. So this is hard wheel decision, very important, because otherwise you just kill the meaning of it. You see,
Yeah.
you can do with MIDI like this. So people will immediately start to connect it to DAW and draw everything by pencil, and they kill the meaning of Terra. That is why no MIDI input, despite it's absolutely possible, of course. But there will be MIDI out, so you can use this flexibility and control your Eurorack or your virtual synthesizers using Terra.
And there's USB for firmware updates or?
Yes, sure, it will be.
But it doesn't transmit MIDI.
Yes, so for MIDI I think we will make usual DIN output. So it's also a question of some inner design, because it uses CPU a lot, and I really like, so this is actually zero latency. So if you use complex systems that has MIDI and start to move closer to operational system, you immediately get latency inside. But this is very, very fast instrument.
And how far is the development right now? Is it already finished, the instrument, or is it?
So we will have something, I think, like 1 year for finishing development and start launching mass production.
So it's more. This one is now more a prototype. And
Yes, this is prototype. This is prototype. So this is already just 7 engines from 32, and it's, let's say, middle of the development.
Okay. And price range, what we can do? Because I think an official price is not yet announced.
Yes, yes. So price, I think we will have something like mass production version below 1,000 euros and customized version above 1,000 euros. And customized version, it means that all synths will be totally unique. So different woods, different shapes, and it will absorb natural shapes of wood. But it's a lot of custom work, and we will produce maybe just several pieces per month. And for mass market, we will have wooden enclosure made by machine, digital machines, fancy rotors, and it will be cheaper.
Sonically, it's really ear candy. Sounds really nice already. Last thing I want to ask you some words. You have no label. You have no music label.
Yes, yes.
What we can expect on this label is more for experimental music, or what do you plan? What are the plans for this label?
So actually, the idea of label is very simple. We already have community of great, excellent musicians, really. And they constantly send us some music, or we can find that they do something. And we just try to collect the most interesting things. Doesn't matter what gender, and just show to the world maybe something like we see, like cutting edge of music, like something that we found like most interesting experiments or new ideas. So we will not be focused like only techno or only ambient. So yes, yes. So it's just like a showcase of nice music, something like this.
That sounds everything super exciting. You have the Zanzibar, you have your label now, you have new synths, so I'm pretty sure there will come even more stuff in the near future. And you have this LED system now with CV.
Yes,
so,
yes.
So an exciting future for SOMA Labs.
Yes, yes.
I wish you good luck for the next years, or we will see us for sure next year. And I'm pretty sure we will see then the final version of the Terra, or the finished version, and maybe some new stuff also.
Yes, for sure, for sure. Thank you very much.
So thank you, Vlad, for this interview, and then I wish you a good last day of Superbooth 32, and hope you to see you again very soon in the next Synthetomy videos. Bye.
Bye.